top, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones, throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal, when I put my foot on, I got to put on, I got a bad one, they want to keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton, receipts in my pocket, don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 check out, my number, 1 foul, just to tell her it's 1 now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel, pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They're going to be stopped up on his first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 37 yard line. That's how we ball, fellas. Keep playing hard.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Let's go, D, let's go.
Now Prescott. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
On 2nd down, Elliott. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go. Go right in. Check 53. We're going to 54. Right in.
3rd and long for Prescott. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
He's checking. Crash. He's coming. We got double up. We're going to 54. Right in.
On the counter, Elliott. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
It's now 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. On the ground, the rookie Mike Weber from Ohio State. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And
he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. And the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back.
I got you. I got you.
Wentz now to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Wentz going to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards.
First down, Cowboys.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Prescott down. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to him until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Double dog, that's the way.
This is Howard on second down. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
80 weapon. 52.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Push him back. Push him back.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
Check 53. I'm here all day.
1st down, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On 1st down, it's Howard. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. On 2nd and 9, Wentz, blitz coming, and down he goes. Jonathan Bostic gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like...
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. Pass it. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is...
And he's into the clear. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott good with a PAT, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Nifty move. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Again, it's Howard. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit? They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. 6 guys. Here you go. Ship.
They run the counter. Elliott. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Here's Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Wentz. Hurts has it left side. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Running with Howard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Wentz. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They run with Howard, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They'll try again with Howard. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I'm going back to you.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there, 8 yards. Gets them much closer to the end zone with 4th and goal looming. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Get the ball. Shift. Great 57. Listen.
They're going to run. It's Sproles. And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing. Prescott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Dak Prescott last year against Philly, boy, biggest game of his career passing yardage-wise, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns in a 29-23 December victory over the Eagles. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Check. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. We're going to 53. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Switch.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
We're going to 53. Alert 3. Check 37. Check 37.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Here's Pollard again. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Wentz now on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Over the middle, complete. That's Jackson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Mike, here we go. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
One final try now for Wentz. Now a desperation looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick, and that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Cowboys, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they'll look to...
History, I'm this line right here. Your best bet be ahead.